Hey guys, I'm Bradu. Welcome back to Terra Invictus. We are in the abbey. We've just battled some drow. We left with, I got cut off, but I only missed a few seconds, so nothing was lost in the in the cutoff. But basically, what happened is the last drow got away, and Nura was unable to track it in the dark. I had two characters or one character paralyzed, and so we got to wait that out. What we're gonna do is just rest. We're gonna sleep here. We were promised by Zora. Is that what I called her? Zora. Yep. A safe place to rest. So I'm not gonna roll any encounters or whatever. We already did the fight with the drow. So we are able to rest safely in the abbey and sleep overnight. And in the morning, we will start a new day. And the first thing we're going to do is Nura is going to go back out in the daylight and try and track the drow. Now, I think I had made it an easy check. I'm going to make it one step harder, like a normal check for tracking this time, because I think the daylight would make it easier, but also with some hours past, it might be a little harder with, was there snow? I think this is an area with snow. So do we lose the opportunity to? So let's see what she gets. 17. She's going to be able to track it. So basically what she does is, now we're not able to follow quickly, but she is able to track that that the drow are coming up from an old well nearby. And I'm not going to explore that too far just yet, but I do have one idea, one thought about what that is like. How are they getting up through this well? Like, how far down does it go to the Underdark, that type of thing? And here's what I'm thinking. I had used that kind of interesting map where the drow had used some sort of magic design to build this tunnel straight up, and then we're using bats and spiders to climb and fly out up that big drow battle in the dwarven vault. That's what I'm talking about. Is that what they used here? Are they using this same thing to build these holes from the underworld, the Shadowdark, up to the surface? I'm just gonna roll that as a, are they doing that 11 or higher as a yes, as an oracle roll? No, definitely not. Interesting. I kind of wanted it to be that, just because I thought it would be cool thematically, but let's interpret that as that's a hard no on a nat one. Good, get a nat one out of the way on the die roll there. So it's literally like this well, at least, was just, they were able to find a way just to climb the well. I'm not going to climb down the well just yet, but we are now aware that that is where they're coming from. So we're going to at least report that to Camadoon if we're able to. I'm not going to travel there immediately. I'm going to continue on this hex in this quest, because the other thing we have to do is, I think I have to have a check for this. Do I? Let me check real quick. I want to do it right. I'm not sure. No, I don't think so, because it doesn't have a DC. So we find a dungeon. This describes the entrance to a Shadowdark or the dungeon. I'm a little confused about one thing, and I'm just gonna kind of like the you have to find the well to get to the dungeon, but I don't think the well is the dungeon, but the well would be a different dungeon going down to the Underdark. So I think that those aren't connected. So the dungeon is this: the Abbey catacombs. Several locked doors in the basement lead to catacombs. So what we're going to say is that the monks here at the Abbey show us some areas that they know go down deeper and they have not explored. And since we're here and we seem maybe more powerful and adventurous than they are, will we explore it? Of course, gladly. That's exactly the type of thing we like to do. So, I think we're just going to go for it. I don't think we need to do anything in particular. We will I think we'll leave Alfonso at the surface, and I think we'll take Heeg with us to be our lantern bearer. And I think for simplicity's sake, I don't think we're going to take any of the members of the monk group or Zora, though I'm a little tempted on one of those options. But I also don't want this massive party. The bigger the party gets a little crazy. I like having kind of a smaller party, and then I go, oh man, but now I don't have somebody who does finding traps, which going into a dungeon can be kind of scary. So we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna go to a dungeon. And I've got a map ready, kind of chosen out, that I think could be good for this. And so we're just going to go for it. I was looking at this map, though, and it looks like it's pretty. This is cool. So I got this calendar of mini adventures. It's got 12 maps, and I think it's a 5e thing, so it actually has adventures laid out. I'm not going to look at what the adventures are. I really wanted to do something here, actually. I'll discuss this real quick, because I still think I'll do this at some point. I wanted to, when I find a dungeon icon in Terra Invictus like this, I wanted to just take an existing adventure, whether it's Wavestone Monolith or, one of the ones that Kelsey designed for the little mini adventures, or I recently picked up the adventure anthology for Shadowdark or Shots in the Dark, and I started to notice most of those aren't generic enough to just drop in without some sort of thought. So I spent a fair amount of time trying to find some thematic, abbey basement, catacombs, crypt, tomb type of adventure that I could just drop in here, and I really couldn't find anything that seemed like it didn't have too much backstory, like, the lord of this area needs you to go do this, and there's some whole thing about kids missing in the thing, or whatever. My point is, like, it's harder than I thought to just drop a dungeon in, because most of the dungeons have this story that goes with it. It's not just a random dungeon. So I'm going to use my 4d6 method for it. I think I have those 4. And so we find some door that leads down, I would say, and drops us into this first hallway. And so Orgo and Abbott will lead the way. Nura and Thane, and then our torch. Actually, we'll put Heeg in the middle with the torch, with the lantern. Not a torch, a lantern. Let's start a timer for the lantern, though I'm gonna do the 30-minute timer, which I think I've talked about. I got a really cool idea, actually, for the timer. So let's see. There we go. Boom. I got a cool idea. I wish there was a way to, and I'm sure there is, for solo play specifically like this, randomize your dungeon timer so I don't even see it. So instead of being a 60-minute timer, or like right now I'm doing a 30-minute timer, and then when that time goes off, I'm going to roll a check to see if it actually goes out or if it lasts a little longer. Another half hour is that's my rule. But I would rather have a 60-minute timer, so let's say plus or minus 30 minutes. So it's anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes, but I don't know how many. And it just, the timer randomly goes off. So there was a little discussion on one of the forums about that. Sorry, I'm rambling about different things rather than getting to the adventure, but I got some ideas here. And so let's go down into the dungeon. Let's have Nura. Well, I guess I don't need to do that. I can do it on the fly with it. I was thinking about pre-rolling one of her herbalism things, because I have a feeling the creature type is going to come up. But anyway, let's go for it. So what is in our first room? That's all we got to do, I think. This is a very linear dungeon. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I only have 5 and 6. So we actually find some treasure in the first dungeon. Do I have in the first room? I have an idea why. Let's see, treasure, a 6, a 3 to 6 are appropriate level dungeon. Their treasure, so great. Let's see what our treasure is. 76 is pretty solid. Nice. Well, guess what? We just had that big fight with the drow and got virtually no treasure. So I don't mind getting kind of a freebie treasure here. Ooh, that's cool, but I don't know that I need it. It might make sense, actually. There's a very good chance I'm going to go with that one. As usual, I like to check both treasures, the base one and the GM companion. Yeah, so I'm going to go with the first one out of the base one, because I think what happened is we find here 76 mithril shield inlaid with small blue pearls worth 80 gold pieces. Awesome. Do I need a mithril shield? I think I do, actually. That's actually cool. So what I think that means is that one of the drow, because they have a lot of mithril, they wear mithril armor and stuff. One of the drow somehow dropped a shield in here. Maybe we even find a dead drow body. And so Orgo has the shield +1. Oh, maybe I don't need one. Thane already has a mithril shield. Shoot, that's too bad. I was thinking Orgo could use it, but he already has a +1, which is kind of better. Abbott doesn't use a shield. He probably should, to be honest with you, because his AC is troublesome, and so he's probably better off taking a +2 to his AC and using a slightly lesser weapon, a D8 instead of a D10. But for now, I'm not going to use it, but that's a thought. So anyway, we find a shield because there was a dead body down here, right? Somebody made it down here and died doing something. There were no monsters in here, so that's okay. Like I said, this is kind of linear. We don't know that yet, but it's going to be. And so we'll go this way, and this is just a tiny little hallway. But something could be here. Something could be here even in a little hallway, I think. I think it's less likely. And we got treasure. Okay. Treasure and a monster. Right? Yep. Okay, let's find out. Let's definitely do the monster first. Oh, Nura is wearing her... Ooh. I'm going to keep an eye out for secret doors, especially as linear as this is. That would be one. I'm thinking out loud. I probably should keep this idea to myself because I like it, but as linear as this is, a secret door might give us a way to do something other than go in one direction. Might give us one choice. I'll keep that thought. Okay, what's in here? I did a quick chart for this. So I'm going to roll a d20. Let's see what I come up with. Ooh. This, okay, wow. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. I gotta pause it though, I guess. All right, so our party comes down this narrow hallway. We practically have to go single file. And as soon as Orgo gets to where he turns and peeks around the corner, he sees this horrific thing, a gelatinous cube. I just got a new mini for this and I wanted to find it, but I think my son already snagged it and it was smaller than this. So anyway, it's got to really squeeze in this mini hallway, but I like the idea, right? So it comes like right at Orgo and we got to go right into initiative. There's no like, oh, what might happen here? I hope we win this. Good, we did. Orgo with a 17 initiative says, he immediately yells out, everybody back up. Or maybe he doesn't. I think he does. I think he yells for everybody to back up. And he's going to immediately swing also. That only makes sense to me. And he's got a +6 with his great axe. 7, 13. 13 actually hits. For D, he's got a shield, so it's a D8. +3. Ooh, nice. So he gives it a good hit. Okay. And then he backs up, and I'm just going to back up the whole group at once. So we're going to back them up. The problem is we want initiative. Get the heck back. We don't really want this thing to get to more of us. And there's a door. I think, how do I do this? You know what I'm going to do? Actually, right here, Orgo's right here. I'll have Nura and Thane run up because they can actually do stuff. Thane will run up to behind Orgo and throw his boomerang sap and hope it doesn't get stuck in there. I don't know if it would or not. 2 misses. Ooh, and that one definitely would have got stuck. Does it get stuck? Oh, no, I think it might. I think it might. So I'm going to say, does it get stuck on a 9 or less is a yes. It does. Okay, so his sap sticks in the bad idea. Nura, you can shoot an arrow because an arrow isn't as it's okay. You'll get it back, right? So Nura will shoot an arrow. 18 is actually going to hit. She gets a D8 +3. 5. Okay, great. I mean, not a big roll, but that's good damage so far. The problem is Abbott can't really do much. This guy's just trying to stay there with his torch. I guess I'm not backing up because backing up puts us in more danger. Right here, only Orgo is in danger, which he is in danger. Let me make sure I didn't do anything wrong here. Oh, I did. I would say stabbing weapon. So Nura's arrow did not do like full damage. It did some damage. I would say an axe is okay. It's not stabby. But the cube now gets to attack. What does it get? It gets one attack. 12 plus 4 is not enough to get Orgo. Orgo's got that high AC. Nice. So we're gonna get another chance, aren't we? Does this thing move? I think it has to hit to move. I think it might move. Because otherwise we're stuck in this weird spot now. It's not smart. But would it back up just because of the space? Nah, we're stuck. It's not going. It's not backing up. That's silly. That's silly. All right, Orgo. We might have a chance to kill this thing, actually. 13 is going to hit. He does D8 plus 3. Oh, max damage again. That is actually a kill. So Orgo slices this thing again. Doesn't have a... Oh, yeah. That's it. All right. Wow. So Orgo slices this thing again, and it just turns into kind of a pile of goo. And that was easier than it... Feels like it was easier than it should have been, but it's all right. We had good rolls, and the location was maybe good for us, too. I don't know. And the treasure is going to be something inside that. So for one, Thane gets his sap back. But we also have a treasure. So let's roll a treasure. 50. 50 is a longsword with a fiery pearl set in the pommel. Nice. Again, I think that is a weapon that either a drow or somebody who made it to this dungeon suffered their demise. That's why I didn't bother checking the other one. That is pretty thematic already. So that was monster treasure. Ugh, we got to find a way to get through this goo. I think it would like kind of coat the floor, but it doesn't actually say that it's like creates a trap or whatever. So let's just keep moving forward. This is a big room. I feel like this, well, there's a few of them. I feel like this room almost certainly should have a monster. So I might roll at advantage on that. If a monster hasn't come up, I might give it another monster roll. But we'll see. Maybe it'll come up right away anyway. Yep, monster. Nothing else, just a monster. Mob monster. Let's see what we come up with for mob monsters. And I think I'm using a D20 on that. 19, all the way at the bottom. Not what I was expecting. Okay, so we see these curious bobbing lights in the room. And we're like, oh, what's that light? Do-do-do-do-do. And we're going to come into the room. And I think that likely, I want to say it's likely to distract us, because that's the idea. And so I'm going to give, how should I do that? Advantage to initiative? Yeah. Let's go disadvantage to initiative for us. I've got a kind of an interesting thing here. So we're disadvantage initiative, and the creatures are going to be at a regular. Actually, I'm going to roll 2 different initiatives for the creatures. You'll understand why in a second. So, uh-oh. Our initiative is a 1 on disadvantage. So they're not a high initiative, but what that means is we're following this light and we're, walking here, and we don't notice all of a sudden this sound coming from the corner, from around the corner, and there are that's kind of weak. There are 1 zombies that tries to attack, I guess, Thane. Nah, it could attack any of them. I don't want it to be him. We want him protected, right? Oh yeah, he was in the middle. He was in the middle because I didn't want him attacked. So let's just roll a d4 for my group, and it could be any of the 4, but not my light bearer. Abbott is number 1 on my list. So he actually is going to attack Abbott. And he is only a +2. That's going to be a hit, though, for 1d6 damage. For 6 damage. So Abbott was not expecting that and got hammered for 6 damage. And there were 2 of these. I should have grabbed a different. I only had 1 mini for it, but I have another one nearby. There we go. We got 2 of these. All right. Now, what the heck do these guys do? A will-o-wisp, a bobbing marsh light, animated by an evil spirit, tries to lead the living into danger, which is why I kind of fell into the trap on purpose. Okay, +3. Oh, and they can fly. So they are going to attack, hopefully, 2 different creatures. 3 and 2, so that's Orgo and Nura. So one of them will attack Orgo, one of them will somehow get Nura from behind. Okay, +3 on Orgo. Misses, and a +3 on Nura. Misses too. Good. Okay, we got to do something quick. I don't think they're undead. Are they? And on that note, do I even bother trying to turn 1 zombie? I think it would be in Thane's nature. Maybe he does. Well, no, I hate to waste a spell when I could do an attack in a small battle like this. I want to protect Nura. So let's have Thane turn around and swing at this wisp. And he attacks at a... let's see, I need a... That should do it, I would think. Thane. I'm using the Morning Star, by the way. +3 does hit. Morning Star does D8 damages. 6. Okay. Nura also will fight. She will attack the same one. She's not going to hit, though. And she couldn't use her bow. She's just kind of trapped in. And so that's not good. I want to kill that one. I also... Since these wisps attacked us, I think we know that they are dangerous. I think Orgo is going to attack the one in front of him. Nice, with the Great Axe, D8 +3. 7. And Abbott will attack the same one. that's a hit. I think Abbott's going to do the deed here. Finish it off, Abbott. Yes. So Abbott gets the kill on one of them. Good. One down. And does our torchbearer have... We gave him a short bow, right? So he would get an attack in here. And he's going to try to protect Nura. Oh, he would have to put down his lantern. Does that mean he drops the lantern? Trying to get his short bow out? Maybe. Does he drop the lantern? Does he drop the lantern? Yeah, so a high roll's bad here. 11 or higher is bad. Ugh, he drops the lantern. But, maybe the but is it doesn't break? Is that true? Is there a light? Let's try this. I've never ever done this. There's a light mishap table. Let's find that and roll on it. But it doesn't automatically break. Instead, we're going to have a light mishap. I don't know what's on this chart. I'm just rolling it. But fire. Oh, the light source flares and burns your hand. Take 1 damage. Oh, okay. Take 1 damage. Okay, so I didn't necessarily drop it. DC 18 dex or drop it. And I kind of feel like it would break if I drop it. DC 18 dex. I really want to hit this, but that's a real high check. 18! He got it! That's awesome. So he didn't drop it, but he does take 1 damage from somehow getting burned by the light source. Cool. Nice job, Heeg. Way to hang on. He didn't get his attack off, though. So on that note, we all went. And the zombie will try to attack. Who did it attack last time? Oh, it attacked Abbott, who moved away. So he's going to pick a new target. He's next to Orgo or Thane. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3 is going to be Orgo. And it misses anyway. Zombies are not a very high attack. The skull, well, will-o-wisp. I'm treating the flame skull as a will-o-wisp. Will attack Thane on a 1, 2, 3. Or Nura. Thane. 18 is going to hit. That's not good. 1 life drain. 1d4 con damage. 3 con damage. So Thane takes 3 con damage. That's not good. I think that's also, though, maybe not the end of the world. We got to kill this thing. I think if we kill this thing, he gets it back. Thane for the attack. Misses. Nura this time will try to move away. Well, no, she's still kind of trapped. So I guess on that note, let's have Orgo attack the zombie. 16 is a hit. D8 damage. Plus, Orgo is just crushing. He's rolled an 8 3 times in a row. Is that right? That is a full-on kill on the zombie. Unless he makes his con check. And he does not. So Orgo just absolutely hammers this zombie. Slices it in half with his great axe. And that zombie is totally toast. And that gives Abbott the chance to come in and attack the will-o-wisp. And a nat 1. What happens to Abbott? Does something bad happen to him? Maybe. I'm gonna hold off for just a sec because I still have Nura and Heeg to go. So let's have Heeg and Nura attack with bows. So Heeg will go first because he had to move to get Nura out of the way. He gently sets down his light source this time, but still misses his attack. And Nura hopefully will hit. Nura does hit, and that should do it. Yep, because she's got the +3 damage. So, okay. That was a little bit dangerous, but not horribly so. All right, so that was actually I did two combats. I split the difference, so I rolled twice on the chart instead of rolling double the amount of creatures. I thought it would be kind of fun if the Will-O-Wisp tried to draw us into a different creature. It's just, I'm almost disappointed the zombie roll was just one zombie, but oh well. Cool. So let's continue on. Are we okay? Does Thane get back his con damage right away? I believe so. Maybe he gets it back on a rest. So at this moment, I'm not going to take it back, but it doesn't say permanent damage. So, we're getting kind of long, aren't we? Well, it is a dungeon. Let's do one more room in the dungeon and see what happens. This is a hallway, so it's technically maybe the same room, but we'll treat it like it's different. So let's go this way. Single file, everybody. Let's leave like this. Hopefully we don't have another gelatinous cube in this skinny ass hallway. Nothing on any of those. Oh, but there we go. Good, a something else, a twist. What could that be? A 6 is something else. Yep, so let's roll it again. 5 says dead zone. What would a dead zone mean? It's a D10 check. And the dead zone is 10. Oh, okay, interesting. Oh, this is interesting. I'm actually going to... Yeah, that's going to be here. So, oh, but because of... Because of that, I feel like there should maybe be a monster. Well, no, it doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. So the dead zone says, death is impossible within this room. There's also a dying NPC here. What is this NPC? Nothing comes to mind immediately. Rolling on the prompt might be weird for an NPC, but I'm going to try it because the prompts have been good at giving me ideas. So if this doesn't give me anything, there's plenty of ways to go about rolling an NPC. But let's go with this way for now. We have 6703 on Solodark. Hmm. 67 says secure battle. Secure battle. So there was a dying NPC. So the dead zone said death is impossible here. So secure battle, I think, means this NPC won a battle. It's dying, but it won a battle. And so it hasn't died yet. And the secure battle means it's secure, as in we don't have a threat here. There is an NPC dying. That doesn't tell me what the NPC is, except that it was powerful enough to survive. So let's give Nura a chance to heal this thing for 1 hit point. That's my easiest route to heal. So Nura's going to try herbalism to heal 1 hit point, and she gets it. So we're able to heal this, whatever it is, for 1 hit point. And I got to figure out what it is. And actually, that's probably as good a place to stop as any. So let's go ahead and call it there. And we will start off next session figuring out who our NPC is and how that is going to play into this dungeon. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Bradu.